What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the 401 podcast. I am Pat Daly. Welcome back to the virtual studio. To my left, Mr. Michael Quattromani.
Pleasure to be here.
Below me, Mr. Will Casey.
Great to be here.
Oh, boys, how we doing today? We made it to championship weekend. Excited for the podcast, Mike. How we doing, man?
The Patriots aren't playing this week.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
That's weird.
Yeah, all right. Technically, you're wrong. Some Patriots are playing this weekend.
That's true. That's very true.
You know what? We're wrapping it up. This is crazy. We're wrapping up the season. This season started with our new season 2, and now we're pretty much wrapping it up.
But Pat, I have a question for you.
Oh yeah.
Are we wrapping up the 4-1 podcast?
No, we're not.
No.
This is going to be an insane offseason, and we're bringing it all to you right here on this channel. Let's get into this podcast right now. We're keeping it real simple. AFC Championship, NFC Championship. We're going to touch on the divisional games, definitely. Let's get right into it. We're going to keep it real simple, this podcast, give it right to you. AFC Championship, we got the Kansas City Chiefs, number 1 seed. Patrick Mahomes, injured, probably going to play against, good for you, Bills fans, the Buffalo Bills Mafia Bills. Tables have already been broken. Will there be more? Mike, what do you think?
I like that. I like the little transition. That was nice. Look, Kansas City is the team to beat in the NFL, and I don't think they're going to be beat. I don't like giving my predictions super early in my analysis, but I feel like I have to, if I'm being honest. I just don't see the Bills having enough to take down Kansas City's offense because, look, Kansas City doesn't have the greatest run game in the world, even though they had 125 rushing yards last week. Put that on, it just makes it even more unbeatable. But I think there's a difference between the regular season and the playoffs. I know that sounds stupid, but if you look at quarterbacks like
absolutely
Jared Goff played okay in the regular season, and he just played awful in the playoffs. Because it was mainly Cam Makers and the defense making plays for them. If you look at guys like Tom Brady, had a pretty good regular season and then just steps it up in the playoffs because Aaron Rodgers stepped it up in the playoffs. I haven't seen enough. I don't think anybody's really seen enough out of Josh Allen to say this guy can go into Kansas City against the number 1 team in the AFC, the favorite to win the Super Bowl, and win, because both of them are very young quarterbacks, but we've seen Patrick Mahomes down 24 to the Texans come back and win, down 10 to Tennessee come back and win, down in the Super Bowl. Yeah, come back and win. We haven't seen something like that with Josh Allen, and I'm not ready to say that Buffalo's going to win this game because I can almost guarantee you that at some point during this weekend, Kansas City is going to be up by at least a score or two. So the question is, can Josh Allen come back and win? I don't know if he can, and it's really tough for me to bet on a guy who doesn't have a track record at all in the playoffs. That's why I'm betting on Kansas City. I think Kansas City wins this thing 31-28.
Well,
yeah. Now we've seen this with a lot of high profile quarterbacks around the league throughout the years. These coaches, they like to hide concussions from the people. We've seen it with Tom Brady, and now we're seeing it with Patrick Mahomes. We know 100% he has a concussion. For anybody who watched that game last week, you saw him try and stand up. He just couldn't stand up. He had vertigo.
That was such a scary sight.
All bad. And we also noticed that very early in the week, he made major steps in the concussion protocol. Now we know he had a concussion. How severe? We're not sure. But in my head, that could definitely be a factor in this game. And partly for that reason, I'm going to say this is going to be a closer game between the Bills and the Chiefs. I think this year's playoffs have really been good for the Bills or the Bills Mafia as a whole. They're starting to prove themselves. Look at them. They're in an AFC championship. I don't know, the momentum. Josh Allen's really coming together nicely. All that being said, I don't think the Bills, Michael said it perfectly. Chiefs are the team to beat. I just don't think it's there. Chiefs win this one in a kind of close one, 31-27.
Fair, boys. I guess I'm going to wrap it up here. The Bills haven't been in this situation since 1993.
Oh yeah. I just forgot to say that. That's a really good point.
Look, I'm a history guy. I love these fun little stats. 1993 is the last time the Bills have been here. So first of all, Bills Mafia, congratulations. This is insane. That's exciting. What wakes me worry, actually, for the Chiefs' sake, is this. The Buffalo Bills defense had an absolutely incredible game. It's honestly, Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs did not beat the Baltimore Ravens. Their defense did 100%. After the interception that Lamar Jackson threw is pretty much all over from there. You take a Lamar Jackson mobile quarterback, they shut him down for 34 yards on the ground. Do they do that with Patrick Mahomes?
I don't think. No, I think just because I will preface to earlier saying the concussion, I think they're going to try to keep Patrick Mahomes in the pocket as much as they can. They're going to keep Darrell Williams or Le'Veon Bell, whoever's in the backfield, they're going to keep him with pass protection. I don't think they're going to let Patrick Mahomes move and put himself out there vulnerable to get hit again. But Pat, I do love how you're bringing up the past game, because I want to take it in a different direction to the Browns and the Chiefs game. 17-22, as we all know, is not an accurate representation of how that game was played. There was one point during the game where the Chiefs ran 20 plays and had 11 first downs. I mean, that's just keeps on ringing in my head. The Chiefs were in full command the entire time, leading 19-3 at half. Then Mahomes goes down with an injury. Chad Henne comes in, the greatest quarterback of all time, and cements ices the victory for them.
I love Chad Henne.
You have to, right?
Yeah.
I will say Kansas City, obviously 22, that game could have easily been 35-10. I mean, they played a hell of a ball game against, dare I say, a red hot Cleveland football team. They were playing lights out before the playoffs. But the Ravens and the Bills game, I want to say something about the Bills just as a playoff team coming into the AFC Championship. Josh Allen really hasn't looked that good. 200 yards and a touchdown last week. I mean, like you said earlier, Pat, he needs to not win that game. Diggs is a great game. John Brown had a nice homecoming, but Josh Allen hasn't played very good in the playoffs. He's done what he had to do in order to win. And
does it remind you?
No, all right. I just like to just to throw something in there. Tim Tebow was horrible. We all know this, but they made that work. I think it's kind of a system, like how people tried to tear apart Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. It's a system, and he fits the system.
Oh, of course. He's a great.
They've got their weapons in Stephon Diggs, John Brown, whoever.
Mm-hmm.
You've got their guys.
100% agree.
Numbers.
100%. I just don't know if Josh Allen, here's what I will say. His performances against the Colts and the Ravens is not going to win him against the Chiefs. So if that's what Josh Allen is in the playoffs, then I'm taking the Chiefs by a mile. Unless Josh Allen steps it up against a defense who's been trending in the right direction over the last few weeks, it's tough to beat.
But he has shown us this season that he can be that guy.
Of course.
Point. He can be.
Of course.
Just the question is, can he step up in a moment of pressure when he needs to be?
Exactly.
A good point. This is one thing I really want to focus on when it comes to this game, though. Like Michael said, they're probably not going to have him scrambling too much and probably going to keep him in the pocket just because of his head. I'm familiar with these things.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of concussion. Look, Mahomes, his arm is absolute plethora of weapons. Tre'Davious White has to shut down Tyreek Hill. Simple as that. He needs to have a pretty much lights out game. Yeah. But where the Chiefs will kill you is huge deep ball catches. I don't even have really I do have a stat behind this, but you know when the Chiefs play, they just have these just either dagger deep balls to Hill.
Yes, and it bothers me so much.
And they either have the giant deep throw to Hill or 30-yard gain to Kelsey right in the middle of the field, that type of stuff.
Some rando you never heard of, like McCall.
The Bills are 6th in allowing plays resulting in 20+ yards. They're the 6th best. Is this the team to stop Patrick Mahomes and this Chiefs explosiveness? I don't know. The only weak spot for the Bills is their ability to stop the run, but I don't worry about that too much because the Browns held them to 2.2 yards per carry last time. It's a great matchup all around, and the Bills what's better, the Bills defense or the Bills the Browns defense or the Bills defense? Which is better?
Bills.
Bills. By a pretty significant amount.
Yeah.
It's a great matchup all around. It's going to be a hell of a game, but at the end of the day, tables are getting destroyed. The Buffalo Bills are going to take this one against the Kansas City Chiefs. Fire up, Bills Mafia. You're going
Where's that flag?
Buffalo Bills win it 40-30.
All right, here's what I'll ask you, Pat. Let's say both quarterbacks throw the ball 50 times. Who wins?
50 times? Probably Mahomes.
I think that's going to happen.
You think it's going to be it's going to be a 50 pass game, or just a lot of passes?
I think it's going to be a very pass heavy game. And in that arena, I'll take Patrick Mahomes every single day of the week. I just don't think, and we've seen it, the Buffalo Bills had 32 rushing yards last week on 2 yards per carry. 32.
You know what?
2 yards per carry.
Mike? I agree with you. in the playoffs, you're going to want to rely on your stars, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Who are these teams running backs? Like Zach Moss, Devin Singletary, and Clyde Edwards-Helaire, who's a rookie. And is Le'Veon Bell on the Chiefs, or am I thinking of the wrong team?
Yeah, but
he's starting though.
Yeah.
See, that's what I mean. There's no stars.
Of course, and here's what I'm saying. Yes, I could absolutely see the Chiefs having one of those games where their run game sucks. But Patrick Mahomes can win those football games. He absolutely can. Last week, the Bills' run game sucked. It was awful. 32 rushing yards. The offense put up 10 points. The 17 they had, 7 of that was because of a pick 6. Their offense was doing nothing the entire game. The only reason they won was because of that defense. And their defense is not having 2 heroic games in a row against the Chiefs. I just don't see that happening.
Look, I got Bills Mafia. I think the Mafia's rolling. I love Bills Mafia. I'm sorry. I really do love it. But I do statistically, based off my research, I do have the Bills winning this game. I think Will's thinking a little bit closer. I think Michael's a little more sure of a Chiefs win.
Well, no, I said a 3-point victory. Will said a 4-point victory. Will technically is more sure than I am.
Okay, very fair. It's going to be a great game. God, how this is like, it's kind of crazy looking at this AFC and NFC. You look at this AFC, and this is a, young, up and coming, rising stars. And then you go to the NFC, and it's these old, like Hall of Famer MVP veterans.
But I almost like it better.
Oh, I love it. It is so cool. You got the new rising stars of the NFL. Whatever happens in the Super Bowl, it is rising star versus like Hall of Famer. That is sick. I love that. We got the Green Bay Packers, most likely MVP, Aaron Rodgers, high-powered, hot offense against greatest of all time, Tom Brady.
And I think we all know what's coming. I think we all know.
Okay. But Will, you know what? I'll start with you, my friend.
Oh, no. Continue with Mike. I just wanted to add that.
Okay, Mike, start us off, man.
Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know, Mike. We know.
Two words.
They're going. They're winning. Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa.
That's all you got.
That's all I got.
All right, dude. Look, this is my take on it. When I tell you this game is going to be, fine. This game's gonna go down in history.
I think a good word would be a classic. It's gonna be
to be a duel. It's gonna be a classic immediately.
Classic.
Look, Rodgers is the MVP. Beat the Rams pretty commandingly, 296 yards.
That is scary. That is scary. Think about that for a second. The Green Bay Packers, the LA Rams, number 1 defense in the NFL.
96 yards.
The Packers hung up 32 on them. Oh my God.
yards, 2 touchdowns, and 108 rating.
In the run game, 188 rushing yards. Oh my God.
Right here. It is going to, let's just be real. It's going to be a tall order for this Bucs team.
No. All right. But let's be even more real. Let's see who we're dealing with.
Yeah.
We're dealing with Tom Brady, but we're also dealing with Tom Brady as an underdog.
Yup.
We're dealing with a guy who's playing from behind.
Against an absolutely unreal defense for the Buccaneers. 3 interceptions.
But as Patriots fans know, like us, sometimes that doesn't matter. And I think this game comes down to more than stats, especially.
Yes, absolutely.
Especially with the old guys.
Yes. Look,
because I think like the heart and loyalty to teams, I think that's died out in the years, and it's still there with these two teams because of Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers.
Absolutely.
Pat, I have a question for you, Pat. What cornerback this season allowed the least amount of yards to Devontae Parker?
Say that one more time.
Which cornerback this season allowed the least amount of receiving yards to Devontae Adams this season? The best wide receiver in the NFL.
Or
do you just say he's the best wide receiver in the NFL?
Devontae Adams?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said Devontae Parker.
Yeah,
you said Parker first.
You said Parker first.
Oh, did I really?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Would it be the rookie, Xavier something?
It'd be Carlton Davis.
Wow.
Carlton Davis, the guy who was on the Buccaneers. Yeah, shut him down. 4 catches, 28 yards. Look, I'm not saying it's gonna happen again, but let's look at the facts. Green Bay's run offense last week had 188 rushing yards, right? Tampa Bay has the number 1 rushing defense in the NFL. You're gonna make Aaron Rodgers throw the ball. You're gonna make Aaron Rodgers throw to a guy who got locked down the last time the two faced. So you tell me right now that Aaron Rodgers is gonna win a football game against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who already beat them 38-10 earlier in the season, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers weren't nearly as good as they are right now. Without Devontae Adams, if he's shut out, that's a big if. The run game is going to be non-existent as the Saints' run game was last week because of the defense. And if this pass defense plays as well as they did last week against the Saints, Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to do nothing. This Tampa Bay offense has been on fire lately. Saints have the number 2 defense in the NFL. They hung up 30 points on them. And it could have been a much higher scoring game than that. I got to take Tampa Bay. I just don't see.
Mike, no doubt about it. Unreal defense. 3 interceptions against the Drew Brees. Rest in peace. Not rest in peace. Happy retirement to Brees. You're a legend, man. Hall of Famer. Look, they held a great Saints offense to 5.4 yards per attempt. This is tougher than the Chiefs game for me. It's a tougher pick for me. I think when you take it down to this crazy Packers offense and this crazy, I wouldn't say crazy, but very, very solid Bucs defense, it weighs even for me. Tom Brady in the playoffs. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are winning the game. I'm sorry. You don't bet against Tom Brady in the playoffs.
Yes, I was just about to say.
You don't do that. It's just not something you do. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to the Super Bowl and facing the Buffalo Bills 45-40. Bucs win it.
I was just high-scoring game. As a betting man, I absolutely cannot bet against Tom Brady, Rob Gronkowski, Antonio Brown, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans. I cannot.
He left us. We were heartbroken. It had to happen, but we don't forget.
I'm rooting for Tom. I
am not rooting for Tom, but you don't bet against Tom.
Well, all right. Me and Mike are rooting for Tom. I don't know what you're doing.
I want Tom to win. Are you kidding me? Tom was treated like crap for the last 4 years of his New England career. He deserves it. He does.
I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. I just want Tom Brady to forever go down as a Patriot. And if he wins the Super Bowl in Tampa, when you go to the Hall of Fame,
he'll always go down forever as a Patriot.
20 years in New England, 1 year in Tampa Bay. It's not even close.
I know. When you go to the Hall of Fame, they ask you, okay, what do you want to be known as? What team? And you can pick 2 teams, and I don't want him to pick 2 teams.
He's not going to pick Tampa Bay. He's going to pick New England. It's not even close.
I don't know.
20 years.
Why would he
spent 20 years?
Hold on. He also hated New England.
No, not the whole time.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know. I don't know. It just seems like something Tom would do. I don't know.
I disagree. I think Tom's loyalty is to the people of New England, less so than the Patriots organization.
Yeah, you're right.
I have 2 questions.
For the sake of the people, I think he would do that.
Yeah, I have 2 questions. Do you think that playing in Lambeau is this big deal?
I think Lambeau, yeah, I'm a big believer in home field advantage because it actually is an advantage, especially at a field like Lambeau. It's a famous park like Fenway Park. Oh, the Lambeau leap, the cheeseheads. It's just something when someone says. I've never personally been there, but I can imagine the type of vibe, the type of sports vibe there.
Yeah.
Maybe it doesn't equate to as great as Boston, but I just imagine it to be really great.
Pat,
look,
I think it's a factor. Yes,
it's a factor. Definitely, COVID messes with that. Are there going to be fans at this game?
No. What I'm asking is do you think that playing in the cold for Tampa Bay is going to be that big of a deal?
I'm not too concerned about that.
Antonio Brown,
because
Tom played in New England.
Exactly, and even more than that. Think about it this way: when you're playing a game in the cold, let's say you're playing in Miami and you're rushing a quarterback. Is rushing a quarterback in 80-degree weather that much different from 30-degree weather? No. Is covering a cornerback or covering a wide receiver that much different? No. Is running the football that much different? No. It's in the hands and it's throwing the football. It's the what do you call it?
The dexterity,
the altitude, the density, how cold it is, all of that stuff matters. Who played in Foxborough for 20 years, 35 degrees and less? That's all it really concerns. So everybody's saying oh, the Bucs and Lambeau, they're gonna no. Home field has nothing to do with it whatsoever. It's Tom Brady that has some.
Yeah, I know. There's no fans there.
There's no fans.
My earlier statement. There's no fans.
Well, are there?
I don't think so. All right, let's say there are 5,000 fans.
Yeah, it's not the same.
No, I'm totally with you. That there would be a much different advantage if there were actually fans there, 100%. But I do think, just to wrap this up, boys, at the end.
No. I got one more question. Yeah. It's a burning question. All right.
Oh, a burning one this time.
Who's the greatest quarterback of all time?
I'm ready.
That was the easiest question maybe of all time.
I don't know. Well, think about it this way. Think about it this way.
We have to start a whole new podcast for this. Yeah.
So I used to be extremely, Brady's the greatest, no doubt about it. But I've been rethinking it. Because if you think about it this way.
Michael, you have been Bucks are winning the Super Bowl. Brady's the greatest. Michael, don't go. Come on.
No. All right.
All right.
Here's
All
what
right. I'm interested to hear why.
Me too.
I'm genuinely undecided though. I'm leaning towards Brady. I still think Brady is, but I'm gonna bring up all the reasoning for Rodgers and see if it changes your mind at all.
Explain thyself.
All right, who do you think will be number 2? Who do you think will be number? Pat. All right.
Dude, he cracks 4. That's hilarious. Oh my God.
Okay.
Cracks 4.
Okay. Let's see. Since 2008, since Aaron Rodgers has started, Aaron Rodgers has a higher yards per game, completion percentage, QBR rating, interception percentage, touchdown to interception percentage ratio. Sorry. Aaron Rodgers, yes. Does he have less Super Bowls? Yes. But wins are entirely a team stat. There are 53 players on a team for a reason.
Completely disagree.
Tom Brady.
Completely disagree.
Tom Brady.
Completely, I wholeheartedly disagree with that. If you're the greatest
that wins are a player stat.
If you're the greatest of all time, you need to have won at least 3 Super Bowls.
Agreed.
Tom Brady has had 12 top 10 defenses. Aaron Rodgers has had 1. Aaron Rodgers, when he had a top 5 defense, won the Super Bowl. And you might do it again with the number 17 defense.
I'm sorry.
Because of the defense that he had.
Michael, ready for this, Will? Just to throw this at Mike. You're making an argument that you disagree with.
But I just don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm so undecided but I completely disagree. Wins or not. Okay, Pat, where's Deshaun Watson? Deshaun Watson's a top 5 quarterback in the NFL, right?
Yeah, right now, yes.
What's his record? What's his record?
Absolutely.
4-12.
Wait, doesn't that make it for Tom Brady?
No, it's not. You put Tom Brady on the Houston Texans this year. Houston Texans go 5-11. Yes, they do. 100% they do. It's a team stat. If you don't have an offensive line,
it's all hypothetical though. We have to look at what actually happened.
I would actually argue that
you can't make hypothetical situations and say, fair. This would have happened. So he's
okay. Well, then let's look at the facts. Deshaun Watson's the top 5 quarterback and is top 3 in almost every single quarterback ranking. Yet his team is 4-12. If that doesn't tell you that wins are a team stat and not a player stat, I don't know what does.
I think it just tells you that the Texans are terrible.
Yes, of course, the Texans are terrible. Deshaun Watson's top 5.
Completely.
You put Deshaun Watson on.
Has Aaron Rodgers not been surrounded by great players like Tom Brady has?
Not his defense.
I know, right. Tom Brady has not been surrounded by great players. If I remember a couple of years ago, his number 1 wide receiver was Keyshawn Martin.
Who was Tom Brady's tight end been for the last 15 years?
Doesn't matter.
I said wide receiver.
The greatest tight end of all time.
I said wide receiver.
It's still who was Joe Montana's wide receiver for like 6 years?
Actually, he only won 2 Super Bowls with Jerry Rice. The other 2 he won with Dwight Clark.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter.
You were just arguing that Aaron Rodgers,
yes,
the greatest quarterback of all time.
You're only looking at the Super Bowls. You can't just look at the Super Bowls.
Michael, you make me laugh. You make me laugh. That is
how. How? Pat, look into it then. Look into it.
Michael, I've looked into it. You can pull out all those any stat that you want, Michael. Based off of forget the stats. Tom Brady makes players look better than they are. Tom Brady wins.
Really? Did you know
who Brady wins playoffs?
That's the least absurd
Tom Brady wins Super Bowls.
Did you know who Robert Tonyan was before the season started? Aaron Rodgers made him who he was.
I don't even know who that is.
Exactly.
Dude, I'm not arguing that Tonyan is. Excuse me. I'm not arguing that Rodgers doesn't make players look good, but not like Brady does. Not like Brady does.
But that doesn't have anything to do with it. Look at Rodgers' stats.
You're forgetting the old days, how Tom Brady used to make Keyshawn Martin look.
That doesn't matter, though. Maybe it was the system. Maybe it was the offensive line. Maybe it was the play calling.
The system.
Cam Newton would have made Keyshawn Martin look that good.
That whole system argument, Michael, based off this terrible season, has been proven completely wrong.
Are you telling me that Marcus
is not a system quarterback?
Are you telling me that Marcus Valdez? I didn't say he was. Marcus Valdez-Scantling and Alan Lazard would be good somewhere else?
I'm not telling you that Aaron Rodgers doesn't make people look good. I'm telling you that Brady is notorious for it.
That's subjective, though. That's
It's
Painful.
not.
Yes, it is. You're
Mike.
saying that Tom Brady makes players look better than Aaron Rodgers does. That's
All of this
subjective.
is subjective.
Yeah,
No, it's not. I'm bringing up actual stats. Pat is
Michael,
looking at.
No, you're not. You're just saying, oh,
I
Alan Lazard
did.
wouldn't have
Aaron
been good
Rodgers since
somewhere else.
2008,
That's not
higher
fair.
yards per game, completion percentage, touchdown percentage, interception percentage, and touchdown to interception ratio, plus rating and quarterback rating. The guy has
Okay,
had
how
no
about-
top 10 defenses. The only time he did, he won a Super Bowl. His coaches have been awful. Mike McCarthy's about to get kicked out of Dallas. Matt LaFleur, the
Right.
first good coach he has, he's about to go win a Super Bowl because of it. Tom Brady had one of the best, if not the best coach of all time. He's had a top 5 offensive line 14 out of his 20 years in New England. He's had a top 10
Yep.
defense almost every single season.
just a reminder for our audiences, Michael is arguing a point that he doesn't.
I
Just
I
like,
almost,
No,
almost
I
feel
don't
like that defense thing is wrong. I feel like in the past couple of years our defense. has been
Actually,
good.
I can look it up. Green Bay Encyclopedia.
I just remember a couple of years when we would feel more safe on offense than we did on defense, and that flip flop this year. I feel like our defense.
Aaron Rodgers defenses have been ranked 13, 9, 22, 26, 21, 12, 13, 24, 11, 19. Then he had 2, and he won the Super Bowl.
and he's done
let's
absolutely
look at-
nothing with it.
How does defense have nothing to do with it?
No, I'm
Same-
saying with those, if you would have an argument in saying, and with those terrible defenses, he went to the Super Bowl and won. That would be an argument.
No, it doesn't have to be an argument.
What?
Aaron Rodgers almost went to the playoffs almost every single year. Let's look at Brady's defenses.
Tom Brady went to the playoffs almost every single year.
7-1, 7-5, 1-10, 8-10, 9-15,
Michael.
8-5, 8-4-2.
The second most winningest quarterback in the playoffs in the NFL is Joe Montana with 16 wins. Tom
32
Brady
for Brady, 32.
doubles it
Winningest,
at
winningest,
32.
winningest. What are wins? Team stat. Wins are a team stat.
Michael, simple as this, and I'm shutting you down right now. Why do you play the game of football?
That has nothing to do
To
with argument
win!
whatsoever.
To win!
A team plays,
I've
not
got-
just
all right,
one
I've got
individual
I've got
player.
something about that team stat. The team stat. Have you ever watched a video of Tom Brady, Julian Edelman, and Rob Gronkowski on the sideline, especially during the Atlanta Super Bowl? Have you ever seen
Yeah,
that?
What about it?
Have you ever that type of have you ever seen that type of energy literally turn a game around from 28-3?
Okay, and he had let's see, that was what 2016. He had the number 4 overall defense that year.
That
on!
type of attitude uplifts a team. Without Tom
Because
Brady,
he had
without
the
Tom
number
Brady-
4 overall defense.
Does Aaron Rodgers win that Falcons Super Bowl down 28-3?
That's Will, you're talking about hypotheticals. That's a complete hypothetical.
He doesn't.
If
He
I say
doesn't.
yes, you disagree. If I say no, you agree.
He doesn't.
I literally all I'm doing is playing devil's advocate and just trying to educate. That's all I'm doing because I don't know who the best is. I don't know if Super Bowls mean more than stats. I'm leaning towards stats.
Rings over records. Sorry.
But wins are a team stat.
You can say that all you want. You play the game of football to win.
A team plays the game of football. To
And the
win.
quarterback leads the team.
Oh,
Yeah.
I like that. That was a good one.
Okay, really, that's a mic drop. Okay, let's say. Hold on. No. Let's say Green Bay. Let's look at Green Bay's offenses. Okay, and you tell me if it's all on Aaron Rodgers. 1, 15,
Michael,
14.
Michael.
1, 8, 5, 1, 3, 5, 4. All under Aaron Rodgers.
Michael, we're going around in circles, my friend. I'm not telling you that Aaron Rodgers doesn't make players look good, but not like Tom Brady does. Sorry.
That doesn't make him the greatest quarterback of all time.
It does.
Most winningest, it does, not greatest.
Hey, once again, the final reminder to our audience is Michael is arguing a point that he doesn't even agree.
I
So,
don't know.
Look, here's the deal, everybody. We're in for an exciting championship weekend. We should really do a full podcast about this offseason. I think we got a lot to talk about here.
Let's do it.
You'll see a big in all caps on our channel. Who is the greatest quarterback of all time? In parentheses, Mike and Pat will fist fight each other. They're going to be real excited for it. We got a great Super Bowl matchup coming for you next week. We got predictions. We got everything in between. Bills Mafia, #1 Chiefs, greatest of all time versus Aaron Rodgers, not the greatest of all time. That wraps up this episode of the 401 podcast. I'm Pat Daly signing off.
Michael Quattromati signing off.
And Will Casey signing off.
The 401 podcast, and we will see you next time. Happy Super Bowl, baby. Let's go.